So let's say you wanted to actually draw these trapezoidal fins. We're not going to draw the elliptical wings just because it's not worth the time and effort in my opinion. So how do we start that, right? We've opened Fusion 360. We're in the design workspace. We're going to create a sketch. We'll go ahead and do a top-down view from here. And we'll start laying out, I guess, a trapezoidal fin set. So let me go ahead and delete these real quick. And let me go back in on my body tube and add a trapezoidal fin. And again, we said it was going to be about 1.5, 1.5, a height of 1.5. And let's sweep these guys, you know what, 45 degrees. And we're just feeling wild. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like from like the top view, right? Let's go ahead and start making that. Okay. So I'm going to start with a line. All right, so here's our parallelogram, or essentially a trapezoid. There are a couple things we want to keep track of in here. Now, it's already taken care of it, but from the looks of it, these lines here are parallel and technically are oriented horizontally. So if they are not parallel to each other, we might want to add that constraint parallel, but it's already been added. Boom, boom, it says, all right, it's already been applied, so don't worry about it, okay? The other thing is, maybe your leading edge and your trailing edge could have different angles. So maybe and this is not actually how I would dimension, but maybe this guy has an angle of 60 degrees from horizontal. And maybe this guy has an angle, oops. Oh, you'll notice, Control Z. Dimension from here to here. Maybe this guy is 45 degrees. And so maybe your fin looks like that for whatever reason, right? So you can give it different angles. But I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit simpler. Oops. Let me go put that line back in here. And I'm going to say, you know what? I want this edge to also be parallel to that edge. Okay. The next thing is, let's start putting our dimensions. So we push the dimension key, and this is in millimeters. So how do we change this to inches? You're going to go over here, document settings. Oops. I'm fumbling, expand. Going to change that from millimeters to inches. Click OK, and I forgot I needed to set it as default, but whatever. Okay, so let's go back into our sketch. Let's add some dimensions. So that's 3 inches or 78 millimeters. We really want that to be 1.5 inches. And because these are considered parallel, and these are also parallel, there's several rules going on here, and it just forces everything to this situation. All right. The last dimension we need here is this guy right here, and that's also going to be 1.5 inches. So there's our fin. The last thing, though, is, if you notice, this guy right here, we could wiggle this, and we could really mess with the skew. Now, the leading edge sweep is how much this line is swept back from horizontal. Now, we don't have a way of measuring that angle right away, but there's a couple of ways around it. For instance, you'll notice that the y-axis is this line right here. Now, I've never done this, so let me just see here. I'm going to click dimension. Yeah, let's see here, dimension. I'm going to click this line, and then I'm going to click on y-axis, and would you look at that? It allows us to reference the vertical here. Now, this is only because of the way it worked. If you had your drawing on another axis, like for instance here, that doesn't, you know, let's say you drew it this way, and this was the x-axis, then you would click on this line after selecting dimension, and then you would go to x. Okay. All right, so I already forgot what my leading edge sweep was, so that's going to be 45 degrees. Boom, done. Okay. You'll notice that when you have a fully defined sketch, all the lines turn black, and the CAD software is happy. From here, we can finish our sketch, and then we can export DXF, and then we can do the points, projected geometry, units, inches, and then yada, 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 have us save it. Or if we want, we can actually extrude this, and we're going to go a distance of 3 millimeters, or 3 millimeters is approximately 0.125 inches, an eighth of an inch. So there we go. Again, file, we can save it. And then after we save it, we can export the full thing to DXF if we want. or again, you can do the sketch. Either one works. Okay. Alrighty, folks. That's it for this one. Thank you. Have a great